humble and you are so simple. Actually, I met Sam in Singapore, and then I found that his writing is quite impressive writing, and he does editing as well. And since we are in the process of writing our books, I thought that it's going to be helpful for us if Sam is going to help us in editing our write-ups. So Sam will give his phone number in the chat box. So if any one of us need his help, he is here to help us if we really want his help in our writings. He can rewrite also, and he can edit also. Both the options are there. If you want that he should rewrite our own stories in his own words more effectively, then he can do that also. And if you want that he should not touch our stories, our language should be same, only he has to edit on the grammar part or on the language skill part, that also he can do. And rest other things individually you can contact and you can ask him that what is going to be the charges and how it is going to be help. Of course, Sam is since very close to our organizations, especially with Mrs. Rihanna in Singapore. So that's why for us, there is going to be very, very reasonable charges. And if it is more, then you can contact me so that I can again pressurize him to give us even more reasonable charges. Thank you very much, Sam. Now let us move to the questions.
Sam, share your number on WhatsApp group.
Yeah, I put it on the chat. My WhatsApp number. That's my WhatsApp number.
I will add him in the group. Okay, that's a good idea. Yeah, I will add you in the principals group. Okay, so now Mr. Monu is eagerly waiting. Manu, not Monu, eagerly waiting for the questions. These questions are not final, but we are here to discuss these questions. If you have to say anything on this, you please go ahead and you can tell us.
I'm not eagerly awaiting, but you last meeting we discussed that you'll share, and then in the group you said you will not share till the time.
In fact, what happened that I wanted to share all the questions. Then after that, my friends advised me that if you are sharing all the questions, the people will run away. But same thing happened even without sharing also, people ran away. Then I thought it's better if we are going to share. So I have written for all the questions, number of words also, so that it is going to be like very comprehensive book. So first question you can see here, what makes you unique? And I have received the responses for this, 3 responses, okay? Then secondly is describe briefly your experience in the field as a principal. Then what are the qualities that a principal should possess to be effective? So one is your personal experience. The second one is the general, your idea, your thoughts. Then what kind of a strategies and mindset is required for the role of a principal? Here it is talking about the mindset of a principal. Please describe your leadership style. So as we all know, there are many types of leadership style. What exactly is your leadership style? And these questions are just to give you the hints. Anyway, we are going to give one particular heading for our own story, because all these things will be in the story form. And my story, because suppose, please describe your leadership style, okay? So this question, maybe for Shabana, heading will be different. For me, heading will be different. Okay, like maybe I can give that a leader with a golden heart. Shabana can give that a perfectionist leader or whatever. So it depends that everybody has to give a catchy title for the answers of these questions. So everybody's title will be different, although the question we are attempting is the same. Then how have you resolved a conflict between teachers, students, parents? You have to narrate your personal story. Although we have done so many times, but here we have to narrate any 1 or 2 incidents in 200 words. Then can you explain a mistake that you made in the past and how you addressed personal story here again in 200 words? Because this mistake and how we handle is very important.
Are these chat GPT questions?
Yeah.
Are these chat GPT generated questions?
No, these are not chat GPT. These I have collected from different people.
Okay.
Okay. Then after that, in what ways do you empower teachers to be leaders and role models for students? So this is again our strategy, how we empower our teachers. Everybody must be having different strategies. Some may be having personal contacts, personal guidance, personal mentoring. Some may be having more frequent training programs, workshops. Some may be having some other coaching systems. So it depends on each principal that how they are doing this. Then when dealing with the students and discipline, At what point is appropriate to involve parents, and how do you support them in helping students succeed in school and at home? Okay, so now all these questions are here. Out of this, we have to select any 15 questions, and that we have to answer the questions.
Okay. Why don't you, it's just a thought. Instead of saying a principal, why not we call it a leader?
Yes, if you advise me to make it a leader, that is going to be more helpful for me as well, because I am the leadership trainer and coach. So it is going to help me in that way also. Edu leader, we can say.
Because there are, if you look at a school which is a bigger school, then you have a headmaster or a headmistress for every section, which is also like a principal.
That is very true. But if headmaster, headmistress is under a principal, then Mr. Manu, you agree with me that then the pressure on headmaster is not as much as on the principal. My intention was that the pressure a principal takes and the stress the principal is undergoing through, and that is not talked about much. On that video also somebody has commented, and I was happy with that. I don't know which gentleman, I even don't know him, that at least somebody is thinking about the principal and somebody is speaking about the principal. So that is the intention behind this. Then how do you maintain open communication with the school staff, student, and parents? Mr. Manu, I will narrate my personal experience. I visited one school in New Friends Colony in New Delhi, and I wanted to meet the principal, okay? Then after great difficulty, I got the appointment, and my purpose was that I was associated with an NGO, and we were helping the people, poor people, to give them some coaching, free coaching. That was my intention of going there. So after great difficulty, I got the appointment with the principal, and then I went inside and I just sat on the chair, and then she started bombarding on me like anything, okay? मुंह उठाए चले आते हैं, ये क्या तरीका होता है, ये है वो है, this that, ये वो, blah 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 blah. When she finished everything, then I said, excuse me ma'am, I am here to help out the poor and needy children, those who need coaching. अच्छा, तो अब आप चले आए हैं अपना प्रचार करने के लिए, अपना कोचिंग चलाने के लिए? Like the principal was not even ready to let me even speak. First, she thought that I'm a parent. Then first she started bombarding me like a parent. The parent मुंह उठाए चले आते हैं, ये नहीं सोचते हैं principal का time कितना कीमती है. Then when I said that I have come to help them out, we are running free coaching, then she started saying that ये अपना प्रचार करने चले आए हैं. So like at times I have found that there are people, I don't know, on that chair when they sat, I don't know what is coming into their mind. What do they think of themselves? Empathy is somewhere missing in some of the principles. That's what I can say about this. So that is the reason why we have to bring out all these aspects through this endeavor of writing a book.
I'll just make one comment out here, which is a dirty comment.
Yes.
You can't make a donkey a horse. At the most, you can make a mole. So what happens is, you might be a good teacher, and you over a period of time has been promoted to a principal. That doesn't mean you become a good principal. So we call it as, हमारी sales terminology में we call it as the principal. THE, a big THE, the principal, who thinks that they have bought everything now.
Okay. So
one question which I didn't find out here, maybe I missed out, is a principal today, these days, with a lot of business houses coming in, people who have started school with money, and principal is the face. So how does a principal manages the management?
Yes. Principal manages the management or management manages the principal?
No, the principal manages the management.
It is vice versa also, because the management manages the principal and principal is the
Management always manages the principal, because you are willing to get managed, because you think that you won't get a job other than this job. That's why I said you
Yes.
can't make a donkey a horse.
That's really a good question, but I can add in this. Who manages whom? Principal managing management or management managing principal?
No, the principal has to manage the management. It is not the management who manages the principal. And that's what is lacking in most of these schools. Principal don't have the guts to go and say to the management that I'm doing this.
Very true. At times I'm also guilty of this.
Because most of the people are scared of the job.
Okay, Mr. Manu, I will add this. Now you tell me about the questions, whether these questions are okay, substantial. Can we go ahead with this? Then I can put each question in one Google question.
I would suggest it's a very small group out here to discuss. Those people who have, I haven't responded to your first question. Those who have responded, what is their view? This requires some time actually to go through.
In that case, you would suggest me the strategy. What I was thinking, that I will post all these questions in the group and then asking them for the suggestions, but they will never come up with the suggestions. So personally, I can send to the
Yeah.
principal.
So what I suggest is you put a message in the group who all are interested in knowing the 15 questions or the list of questions, and then you can send them personally rather than sending it in the.
Yeah. Yes, good. So that will be our next step, that we are going to do this. And then I was thinking that we will fix up one last date, so that all 15 questions we will write and then submit on that particular deadline. And then it comes for the editing another part.
Yeah. One thing which I will tell you, education is a left brain scenario. Last time also I said it.
Mm-hmm.
While the position of a principal becomes more of a right brain. So what happens is, when you come to a management role, you are less of process oriented and more onto creativity, more onto visioning, more onto managing people. So that transition, most of the people are not able to make it. So they still live in their teaching days. And teaching or education, schools management system is very, very process oriented. But the job of a principal is not process oriented. This is I personally feel.
And here we are going to make them wear the third cap. The third cap is the cap of an author, where they are going to write, managing a school or managing the teachers or teaching in the class, different role. But here they have to be an author. This is like third role that they have to play. For that, not only I have to motivate them, or we all have to motivate them personally, but we have to give them the skills and tips as well. That's why I have called Sam today in this, that if any one of us requires some help, additional help, he is here. He can even give us some tips as well. How to make the writing more interesting, more effective, worthy of reading for the audience, how we can make it like more attractive for the common people. Because, if we look at the principal, their population is so thin. We are not only writing only for the principals, because we are writing for the masses. Yes.
We are writing it for the masses. We are not writing it for the principal.
Yeah. So,
Ma'am, shall I intervene? Shall I give something? Because I was just listening to your conversation. I was waiting for a chance if you give me to speak.
yeah, please go
Yeah.
ahead.
Ma'am, this is a great initiative for all the people like me who are aspiring to become the great leaders in future, right? As I said, I am in the process of becoming it. So this book is not only helping the principals, those who are already in position, but definitely is going to inspire millions of the people who have the dream and who are in the process of becoming. And as Manu sir said, very truly, we forget for the process orientation. Rather, we will try to pick up the product. I mean, without doing any process, without doing any series of actions in chains, we think at the very first step, at the very first point, what should be the result? What will be the result? Whether I'll be appreciated or I will not be appreciated. So we become more product oriented and instead of becoming process oriented. This is the reason that I have done during my tenure, that I have focused on the process orientation by giving all the things. But sorry to say, sir, my management here did not realize, and somehow they tricked and they have changed the scenario by making me back and asking me to rewrite the exam 3 times, and still the interview is not being conducted, and the management has changed, because as per our education here, every 3 years the management changes. So when we try to adopt and be honest and humble, this is what we face. So we asked a question in one of the education training program, leaders training program, to our mentor, that you are teaching all the good things. We are following all the good things, but these good things are not valued, not valid, not appreciated by the people around us. So what should we do? Should we become the part of their policies, or we should adopt these honest policies? Then he said one very beautiful sentence. I think it will help all of us. He said, you do what I'm teaching you honestly. Those who are not following it, they are adopting suicidal strategies. Let them do the suicide. So I am also the victim because I followed the process orientation. As sir said that maybe they are afraid the management will not keep them. I was not afraid. I followed my own path because I was damn sure whatever I am doing good, whatever I am doing is the best. 99% result was there during pandemic. And we have produced under my supervision 20 class magazines with 20 sections of higher education, plus everything online school, with all special assemblies, with even science day celebration online, with all the science experiment. It was really a jackpot if they would understand it. But out of arrogance, out of, I don't know what else, the negative emotions they had, hypocrisy or whatever, they have not even appreciated, but they have terminated. But still, I did not leave the job. Everybody else in the city thought I will leave, I will resign. But I said, no, I will not resign. I'm not a person to go back. I am in the field till I win. It's not over till I win. So I have written the test 3 times. 3 times, alhamdulillah, I qualified. Waiting for the interview was to be done at 4th April, got postponed. 8th April got postponed. But still I am there doing the process. I am with the process. The system, do the process, I am there following it.
Okay, Aisha, thank you very much for your inspiring story. And sometimes, Aisha, I think that when we do the great jobs, sometimes we neglect introspection. So maybe at certain point of time, we have to do little introspection also, because when I was 10 years ago, when I started like principalship as a leader, I started, my condition was entirely different that I am today, to be very frank. And now when I look back at 10 years ago, me as Halima Saadia, Dr. Halima Saadia as principal of certain school, then I find that how people have tolerated me, even today, I cannot tolerate such type of leader. To be very frank, I am telling you, so authoritative, so dictatorship, so much arrogance. Oh my God, what I was, really, I'm telling you. But by time, by the mistakes I made, or by attending the programs. And as Sir is saying, that without training from teacher to principalship, it gives you that arrogance. I started changing. And today, I am only for the clarity and transparency of the thoughts and the process. If there is any confusion at any point of time, I cannot stand over there. Be very clear, be very transparent. Clarity of thought is very, very important. And that gives us success. And Aisha, if you are on the right path, nobody can stop you from becoming the principal. That is my firm belief. And may Allah bless you always. May Almighty give you success in your life. So,
Ameen,
Mr.
Ameen. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, I think now if anybody else has to contribute, please contribute. Otherwise, we will wind up the meeting for the next Saturday. During this period of time, I will post the questions and invite the people to contribute.
आयशा जी, मैं एक चीज आपसे और बोलूंगा. This is my thought process. It's not the end of the road if you become a principal. The journey starts again. So
very true, sir. Very true. With a new chapter, with the new horizons, with everything fresh. Very true. I truly accept.
So that's what most of the principals think, that they have achieved the pinnacle of their careers. And there's nothing else. And that's what brings arrogance in people.
You will not believe, Mr. Manu, when I was a principal of DPS, now you can understand the DPS principal, okay? So I was supposed to go to Singapore and my son was working there. So I told my son that I will go in to visit some of the schools. Then he said, okay, fine enough, you go, you visit. But first you have to send them the letter and then you have to take permission and appointment and other things. So I wrote a letter to them. And then I sent to my son that, okay, is it okay? I'm sending these letters to the schools. So there I have written that I am the principal of Delhi Public School and this there, and I would like to visit your school and this. Then my son said that, okay, your letter is fine, but where is the objective? I said, I am the principal, I am the DPS principal. What is the objective? I am coming to visit the school. Then he said, you may be in whatever you are and whosoever you are, how you are going to add value to them, why they should welcome you. Who are you for them? So where is the objective? Where is the purpose? Like sometimes we think that we are too much, although we are nothing, Then,
I'll tell you a story.
Yeah.
Similarly, there was a principal who joined my daughter's school who came from DPS. So she was used to make students stand in the ground in the full sun before they leave the school. And a lot of issues came up. So I went to meet her. Whenever a new principal used to come, I used to go and meet her. So she was telling me her story, a lot of things. So I said, do you know XYZ? So she said, yeah, I know XYZ. So I said, he's my uncle. And I know your background. You have been sacked from DPS Jammu. So one piece of advice to you as a principal, I told her very frankly on the face, you are just 16 days into the school. You will not see your 31st day. And believe it, on 29th day, I came to know that she has been sacked by the manager. Because when you become a principal or you become a principal, you cannot change the systems overnight.
Yes.
You
have to
first
change yourself and adapt as per the system, and then you have to bring.
You have to understand the system first, and then try to bring the change. I'm not saying don't bring the change, but understand the system first, and then bring the change.
Thank you very much, Mr. Manu. Now you see in our team, 4 strong people are there. You, me, Aisha, and Shabana. Okay.
Hana ma'am is also there. She's silently smiling, not saying anything.
Sana ma'am nowadays is on the journey of self-improvement and self-grooming. So she has left the school. That's why she is just smiling.
Right now I'm learning and gaining more experience from you all people. Thank you.
Even learning also needs imparting. That doesn't mean.
What about Mr. Hanif? Mr. Hanif, are you there? So anyway, 4 strong people are there. We just need 4 more strong people, then we are done, inshallah. So tomorrow I'm starting my leadership camp. Actually, I was more busy into that project. So that's why this project was little lagging behind. Once that project will start, tomorrow is the first day. Mr. Manu, if you are free, you can also join the inaugural session.
What time?
Inaugural session is at 8 o'clock IST.
India time. Okay, in the night. I'll be there. Send me the link. I'll be there. I think she's disconnected.
Yeah, voice lag is there. She may come back. Let's wait.
Sana ma'am, where are you based?
Sir, I am from New Delhi.
Okay, and where were you earlier? Working?
I am in Delhi since 2008.
No, I'm saying where were you working earlier?
I contributed my service last year in a leading school in South Delhi. Now I have taken leave for some kind of training which I am pursuing right now. So I'm learning, sir.
To Sancho sir and Manumika sir, as we started with our conversation, I remember with the Singapore. Recently, I have done a course from my National University of Singapore for Future Leader Program, SLP, NUS FLP, the program was known as, and it was a leadership course I have finished. And then they have selected me as their mentor out of 200 candidates who were there in my batch. So, Mr. Sancho, are you aware of this kind of program from NUS, National University of Singapore?
Never involved in any of this program. Yeah.
Okay.
So thank you very much, everyone. I am back now. I was disconnected. So I thank each one.
Dr. Aisha is actually originated out of South Africa.
Yes.
Future Leader Program is originated, I think, out of South Africa.
Okay, FLP, NUS FLP is a faculty from University of Singapore under the supervision of Professor Jayant.
No, that must be there, but the main program started in South Africa. I'm connected with the class. Started.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Welcome, ma'am, back.
Yeah, thank you very much. I was disconnected. But anyway, thank you, everyone. It was nice interacting with you all. And I was telling you, Mr. Manu, that tomorrow our inaugural session is at 8 o'clock IST. If you have time, I'll just share the link with you.
Yes, send the link. I'll definitely be there.
Yeah.
Ma'am, in the morning or evening, AM or PM, ma'am?
PM.
Okay, ma'am, one more thing I'd like to ask.
She said in the morning, she said in the beginning that these programs would be at 8 o'clock India time.
No, 6 o'clock morning. That is our 15 minutes morning rituals. That happens at 6 o'clock. And then we have the proper session at 8 o'clock night.
Okay. Ma'am, one more thing I'd like to ask before I wind up, if you permit.
Sure.
Yeah. Ma'am, what was the objective then you wrote as per the advice of your son?
Oh, to Singapore?
Yeah. Because that was disconnected, that complete
Yeah,
sentence.
actually, I wrote them that I want to learn because I showed my humbleness over there.
Oh,
Instead of
true.
saying that I'm the principal and having so many years of experience, I wrote that your education system is world fame education system, and you are rank 1 in PISA and all these things. So I just want to know and learn from your education system. So kindly permit me to visit your school. I sent, I think, around 15 schools, and only one responded, and I visit one school.
Oh, very nice. I would like to congratulate you on this initiative. And all your initiatives are really good. And the poll that you have started in the LinkedIn, there also I have written a comment for you. So we are all there for you with all your good initiatives that definitely should bring a transformation and change of mindset in the society towards the life of principals or vice principals or HMs or whoever the edulators, inshallah. Amen.
Inshallah. Okay. Thank you very much, everyone. Good night. May Almighty bless
Thank
you
you.
with
Take
lots
care.
of good health, happiness, joy, and prosperity.